How's it going, guys? I don't have a decent drink. It's just H2O. It's pure water, I'm afraid. Actually, it's vodka. Yo, Slim, I drank a fifth of vodka. Dare me to drive? So yeah, this is about... You guys know I love Slim Shady. My man. So yeah, you know, obviously by the title, it's about the PlayStation 1 Mini / Classic, whatever you want to call it. And I was actually going over M&M looks, and I was thinking about this because I'll keep referring to my phone because this is about the 20 games that I would love to see on the PS1 Classic. So yeah. So firstly, I'm a bit disappointed anyway, just by the looks of it. Let's talk about the price tag. $89.99. Really? That much money for 20 games? I think that's a bit stingy. I think they could have at least made it to 25 or even 30, but as much as I hate Machine Gun Kelly, MGK's diss towards M&M, it is a bit catchy though. Like, I was just thinking, what was it that he says? Oh yeah, his main chorus.
I'm sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats, let's talk about it.
Should we do a bit of freestyle? I'm sick of that $89.99 price tag, you Sony fags, let's talk about it. Let's have it with MGK saying let's talk about it. I'm sick of that $89.99 price tag, you Sony fags.
Let's talk about it.
But I love the lyrics from Eminem Kill Shot. Listen to these because you'll see what I'm about to do.
Stand, son, listen, man, dad isn't mad, but how you gonna name yourself after a damn gun and have a man bun?
Sony, son, HolsterTV isn't mad, but how you gonna put an $89.99 price tag with only 20 games on, hun? Yeah, exactly, but yeah. I'm also really disappointed that it comes with 2 controllers, but they're the classic ones, like the original, like with no analog, like... Why? Like, I genuinely can't really game on them controllers. They really irritate me because there's just not enough, like, to hold on them. Like, it's got to be the DualShock ones. It's unbelievable. I mean, you know, kudos to them for including 2. They've all been for the multiplayer and whatever, but seriously. I think 20 games is not enough, like, because of the system. Like, it's an absolute classic system. It's got so many, like, exclusive and classic games on it. 20 is just simply not enough. I did see on the channel Cinemassacre, Mike and Ryan were talking about it, and they said the games don't look as good on new TVs, so there's a reason to own the originals. For some reason, they don't look as good on new style TVs. But yeah, anyway, let's go to the 20 games that I want to see on it. I also have some honourable mentions for the ones I had to leave out, because obviously did not have enough. So this game I do not own myself, so I will get a picture up on the screen for you guys. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think to justify this $89.99 price tag, you need to have some pricey games on there. Like, I know Castlevania Symphony of the Night literally goes for about £250, like on average nowadays, sometimes a bit more, for a complete edition with like the manuals and the soundtrack CD or something like that in it. Because I've honestly been after it for my collection. I would really like it. I like the old Castlevania games, so I really think they should include that to like justify this bloody price tag. I just think it's way too high. I really do. I think it's pretty greedy, to be honest with you. So we'll go with that. Another game which I don't yet have anyway, but this was like my childhood snowboarding game, Cool Borders 2. Obviously to add some variety in there, you need a Cool Borders game, I think. Yeah, that was just awesome. I loved playing that. Also, obviously, Crash Bandicoot. I mean, you could obviously argue which one do we put on there, and then obviously you have Crash Team Racing and Crash Bash. I think they should definitely be on there because this is just the roots of Crash, it's where it came from, but I think it would probably be on my honourable mentions list, but it probably could feature on the final console itself. But Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, I think if you wanted the variety, obviously in the levels, then this would be the one, easily. I know Crash 2, it did have a little bit of variety, because you could ride on the little polar bear and whatever on the chase levels and all that, but obviously this, you can see just on this anyway, on the back cover, you can unlock the bazooka, you unlock things after the boss battles, so you have like the flying one, you have the motorbike one, the racing one. You have the Coco, Midnight Run, and Orient Express, I think it is. I know they said Oriental Express. Is that in it, is it? That's, I'm sure Oriental Express, that's like a local Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet round here. My bad. I'm always thinking about food, guys. But yeah, I think obviously for the variety it'd be this, because obviously you have your scuba diving levels as well and whatever, your water levels, but this is literally obviously where Crash came from. I just think it's, yeah, and I think it's the most difficult out of all of them as well. And oh god, don't even get me started on the what do you call it, the Insane Trilogy. They totally buggered up the physics on that. You just easily fall off ledges and stuff. Don't even get me started. But yeah, definitely needs to include, I think, the first one. But for more variety, I would say the third one. I can probably see the third one being on it, to be honest with you. Also, I think Crash Team Racing, definitely. It's an absolute classic. That's up there with Mario Kart SNES, and it's up there with Diddy Kong Racing as well. They're my favourites as well. Oh, Diddy Kong, absolutely loved it. I don't know why I was like going to open it. That's what I usually do on my pickups videos. But yeah, like I said, there's 18 tracks on it. Loads of weapons, power-ups, all that lot. Multiplayer, obviously a lot of fun. 4-player, split screen, and all that. I don't know if 4-player would be an option. Hopefully. I reckon that they'll probably try and milk it as usual and release like the extra accessories and whatever. So I reckon they might bring a multi-tap out for like 50 quid or something like that. Probably, they'll probably milk it, to be fair. Let me just make sure I'm not leaving any out. I think, yeah. Next one. I think another underrated PlayStation mascot. Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. I always thought it was Gobos, but it is actually Gobbos. If you watch a channel called Kadikarus, he did about this one, and I think he actually like did a bit of the background research. Whatever, it is actually Gobbos. This was fantastic. I've always loved this. I haven't completed this since the olden days and whatever, but yeah, awesome little game Croc is. I think Croc deserves a place up there because obviously I think he got neglected back in the day from Crash and all that lot. Definitely. Right, on to survival horror, you guys know I'm going to be biased and I'm a massive fan and everything, so there's going to be a few on here. I would definitely put on the first Dino Crisis. Definitely. It's not all about survival horror, zombies and whatever. Why not add dinosaurs in the mix? Definitely. This was brilliant. Absolutely awesome survival horror with dinos, basically. Now, I'll be honest, I've picked up Dino Crisis 2 and 3. I don't know how they play compared to this one, but they look a lot different. And so, to be fair, this one is the only one I've played, so it's literally the best one in my eyes. But it's definitely the best looking one as well. So you play as a nice, hot female redhead, as you can see. That is Regina. And it says she's a government agent sent to a remote island. Yeah, it's creepy as hell, because it's like in the middle of nowhere. Track down a missing professor who's been conducting suspicious experiments. And you discover that the island runs rampant with dinosaurs, including velociraptors and T-Rexes. So yeah, it's literally the same as like Resident Evil with like the little puzzles and everything. It's a sick game. I definitely think that should be on there. Because like I said, like survival horrors, it's not all about zombies and all that. So let me have a look, just make sure I'm not missing any out. Yeah. This has to be on there because it's like, some people might not like it because of the top-down view, but the classic Grand Theft Auto, it has to be, even for the soundtrack as well, like the corny music on this, depending on like what car you go in, you'll have like some freaking country music on, some rock music and whatever. Oh, it was brilliant, it really was good. It was an awesome game, that. Run into the payphones to get your missions. I don't think there is any. No, there's none on here. Oh, you can see them on that screenshot. Absolutely tiny. Them little payphones you had to get to. And then obviously being busted there. You didn't have the stars or anything on this. But yeah, that was the first GTA game I've played, so I've obviously seen the progress from the top down to this one. I think GTA 2 is just as good, but I think in terms of like the I think that the soundtrack and everything, just the overall vibe of the game, the characters and things, I think it should be this one. And also, I believe GTA 2 is out on the Dreamcast. So obviously I've tried to keep this more PS1 exclusive kind of games. So yeah, I really think that the first one should be on there. To obviously show where these games started, you know, obviously like Crash Bandicoot GTA and whatever. Another high value game, I think it goes for about maybe 40-50 quid nowadays. Cooler World. Yeah, I picked this up a while ago. I mean, what other game do you play as a beach ball collecting fruit while collecting ecstasy and bouncing around high to try and find the exit to these levels? It's just, honestly, it gets so difficult. I've never even completed this game. But it's such an unusual, like, puzzler. This is the puzzler. This is the one you need. I mean, to be fair, an honourable mention of mine would be Devil Dice. I don't have that here to show you because I don't yet own the game, but I played the demo to death, like, back in the day. It was on one of the PS1 demos, but I really think that is your puzzler. So I genuinely would pick this up, guys, if you haven't got it. It is a one-of-a-kind game. This next one, bit of an underrated PS1 mascot as well, but I think he kind of got the credit he deserved. Sir Daniel Fortescue in Medieval. These were awesome games. These were really good. Now, obviously, you could argue the second one, but I do believe maybe including the first games, you know, like of some series on this one, to obviously see how these stories started off and whatever. I remember the second one. I actually played the second one back in the day more than I did this one. It's where you could play as the Hand, couldn't you? I think, I don't even know if it was his hand or not, or if it was a hand that followed him around. My memory is terrible. I have not, like, actually properly gone back and delved into these games, so I've still, my memory's still a bit foggy, but, yeah, it was, like, basically the Hand from, like, Addams Family. But, yeah, I definitely think he should be in it. I mean, chilling, Medieval and chill with, Sir Daniel Fortescue in Gallowmere, it's called. A land where magic has overtaken science and one sorcerer, the tormented Zarok, has harnessed its darkest powers. Daniel Fortescue is the only man who can defeat him. Unfortunately, he died over 100 years ago. Yeah, exactly. He gets, like, resurrected as a skeletal knight. So, yeah. Oh, that was so good, man. A humorous, enthralling story in an action-packed RPG-style adventure. It really was awesome. I remember freaking... He has, like, his massive long sword, swinging it round in the graveyard. Good times, man. Good times. You can see the graveyard, like, there. I think that is shown in that one. So definitely, a medieval game must be in there. And like I say, I think it should be the first one, so you can see how it all started. Another one, classic, first in the series, Metal Gear Solid. It has to be. Has to be. It's just, I've literally got no words. I can't even describe how suspenseful the demo to this was when I played it. Yeah, because I played this fairly young. It was on a demo. That's how I first played it. I just played it to death over and over again. I can't even, like, yeah, like I say, describe, like, the freaking eerie suspense when playing this. And obviously the alarm sound when you get caught. It's absolutely one of a kind. I'll be honest, I haven't really played many future Metal Gear games. I remember back in the day I played Metal Gear 2 on the PS2, but I couldn't really get into it, and that was because I kept getting lost. And I kind of lost my shit, and whatever. Well, not really. I just got fed up and never went back to it. So consequently, I've missed out on all the other Metal Gear Solid games. I also own the Metal Gear Solid Special Missions for this as well. It comes in like this style case, and it's just got Special Missions, which I haven't yet played, because I want to go back and play this and complete it again. But yeah, it needs to be on there, definitely, as like a bit of a, obviously, shooter/stealth kind of game. So this one, it's difficult whether to include the first or second, but I'm just saying the first so you can see how it all started and see how Abe evolved. Oddworld. Abe's Odyssey. The second one is Abe's Exodus, and that obviously, they introduced like a save feature in that, like it saves at like more points in the game. So obviously it makes it a lot easier. This one is the more difficult one. So basically, yeah, you play as Abe in Rupture Farms, and they're literally like, his species is a Mudokan, and they're getting made into like freaking food and all that lot, Big Macs and everything, and he's trying to obviously save the race. He is, save his own race, save other people. Oh, it's just sick. It's like a bit of a puzzle game as well, a bit of a side-scroller-ish game, but some parts you really have to be stealthy to watch your enemies in the game. You can also possess people as well. And you can, I can't remember if you can burp in it, but I know you can definitely fart. I can't remember about the burping. I think you can, but you press them to like, certain buttons does all those actions, so. What other game do you get to do that? It's such a unique game. Freaking love Abe in Oddworld. So definitely got to have an Oddworld game in there. You've got to. Another cheeky PS1 mascot. Rayman. Now there was a Rayman 2. I own it. I have not yet played it yet because I only picked it up like this year. But yeah. Definitely I think Rayman should be on there. But at the same time, I think you could argue, should it be on there? Because I'm sure this was on the Sega Saturn as well. So it can be a bit difficult. But I do think it's an essential, so that's why I've included it. This was an awesome side-scroller. And it even says on the back, eye-popping animations using 65,000 colours. The visuals are pretty beautiful on it. Got a really nice graphical style this has. Yeah. So I definitely think Rayman should be included. Back to the survival horror, guys. You know what's coming up. So I've been doing these in like alphabetical order. You know what's coming up. Resident Evil 1. Obviously, you need survival horror games, or at least a survival horror game on the PS1 Mini, so this would definitely be the one if you include it. I mean, to be fair, Resi 2 is my all-time favourite game ever. Not even in survival horror, ever. So obviously this is included. And obviously it also has like 4 campaigns on it, because you have Leon A, Leon B, Clear A, Clear B, so you have 4 campaigns. Whereas this one has 2, so little more replay value, and I wouldn't know which is the longer / shorter game. I'd probably say this can be a little bit longer, but I don't know, to be fair. I could complete this quicker than this, just based on my experience, but on average, the speedrunners can usually get these done in between an hour and 30. Some people can even get this done quicker, but I really think this was like more of an improvement. Obviously, graphics wise, I just absolutely love the story to it. The Resi police station, the sewers, the underground lab. But at the same time, this obviously, you cannot beat the eeriness of the mansion. You literally cannot, of the Spencer mansion. And obviously, everything was just introduced to us here. It's where it all started. Zombie dogs, zombie spiders. I don't know. Infected spiders. There we go. Spiders on steroids, shall we call them? SOS. Spiders on steroids. And yeah, I never knew who this guy was on the front, because I was thinking, this does not look like Chris. Everyone assumed it was Chris, but it was actually Richard from, is it Bravo team? I think it's Bravo, I can't remember. my memory aren't the foggiest. But I genuinely believe, I know out of 20 games it's a lot to take up, but I would genuinely have them on. As well as Dino Crisis, but this is me being biased because I love my survival horrors. But out of them 3 I've shown you, I definitely think we'll see at least one of them on there. I reckon it could be, you know what, it's literally too close to call. I wouldn't know which one would get on it, to be honest. But if you include Resi 1, please, Sony, for the love of God, don't do the director's cut. That basement music. What is that? Were they high? I don't even know what they were thinking. It's absolutely not scary in the slightest. It sounds like a load of farts that have been like auto-tuned into trumpets or something. I don't know. But yeah. Gotta have these as well as Dino Crisis, in my opinion. And also, we've literally got another survival horror game. This is difficult, though. This is difficult. This is another one which you just must include, because there were just no games like it till these came along. Silent Hill. Can you really beat that noise? Like, I can't describe what does it. I don't know what instrument it is, but this music. I'm really useless. I don't know what kind of instrument does that. Something with strings, I don't know. I suppose you could make that sound with a guitar, an acoustic guitar or something, I don't know. But oh, it's amazing. You play as a young man searching for his daughter, struggling to exist in a place between reality and hell. A town hiding gruesome dark secrets, follow a trail of blood and mutilation to snatch a loved one from the clutches of a demonic power. Enter an alternate dimension where death is no escape. Welcome to the madness that is Silent Hill. Yeah. This I find scarier than Resident Evil. I genuinely do, because I just think it's way more creepier. Do I think it's better? No, because I'm just literally a Resi fan at heart. But this is literally up there. That's just a personal preference. But this is freaking up there. And it needs to be on. Like I said, because there was just no other games at the time. I reckon maybe Resi 1 and Silent Hill. I think them two will be the survival horrors that are included on this. That's what I reckon. But if it was me, I'd stick all 4 of the survival horrors I've showed you guys so far. Anyway, another mascot. Our cute little Spyro. Spyro the frickin' Dragon. I mean, some people regard Spyro Year of the Dragon, that was like the 3rd one that came along. They would regard that as the best one, but I literally haven't played them enough to say my favourite one. So that's why I've literally just stuck the first one in front of you guys. Breathing fire. Chasing them like... I'm sure there was like some little chickens around. Breathing fire on them. That was so good. Chasing them and trying to breathe fire on them. That was great. Oh yeah, not to mention 6 worlds with over 30 levels. Yeah. Literally, need I say any more? It's Spyro. Next one. This is one that's already been announced as a confirmed game. We've had 5 confirmed games announced. Tekken 3. Definitely. You need a beat 'em up on there. That's your beat 'em up. Definitely. I found Tekken 1 and 2 too slow. They were just too slow moving. This one had more memorable characters. Freaking Eddie Gordo, you would be screwed if you was against him. I also love Paul as well, the biker guy. And Heihachi. Law was good. The Chinese-Japanese guy, I don't know. The Asian guy or whatever. But yeah, I loved also, you could... I think he was just called Dino. You could unlock the little Dino character. You could unlock a panda. The beach ball mode. The beach ball mode was great. I've still got my original save from back in the day, so I've got the save with everything unlocked, and I really need to jump back on it. I really do. I've got everything unlocked. I've got no excuse. But yeah, definitely, that is your beat 'em up. Definitely. Just check I'm not missing any others out. I literally own nearly all the games that I'm recommending, so I literally don't think there's any need for me to even get a PS1 Mini. I don't think I'm even going to get one, because I literally feel like I own all the classic games for it. So I think I already own them. Right, next one. Tombi. High-end game. It's around, goes for anywhere between 90 to 110 maybe, about that. I remember playing the demo to this. This is like another really unique game, and not enough people have played it. Like, it's that hard to get hold of, or it's just obviously too expensive for people. You don't get to play it. So I think, again, to justify this price tag, include some more expensive games. Like, don't just put some of the cheapos on there. I mean, some of them are averaging tenner each, or most of them maybe 20 you'd be looking at. But nah, stick some more obscure ones on there. Definitely. Help Tombi through a magical world of mystery and magic as he tries to solve puzzles and help save the world from the evil Komabuta pigs. Yeah, it's literally role-playing and platform adventure. That's literally what it is. Definitely think Tombi deserves a place on there. Next one, the biggest female mascot ever, I reckon. Tomb Raider, of course. You need to be raiding tombs on this PS1 classic, definitely. I forgot about that. I forgot about that on the back. That's really hard to remove as well, because I remembered. I know, some paint on the back or something. I got this like way back in the day. But It's got to be on there. Look at these freaking reviews from back in the day. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 94%, 93%, 9 out of 10. Honestly, it was so well received. It was amazing, Tomb Raider. But again, it also featured on the Sega Saturn. Would it still be on there? I don't know, because it's not a PS1 exclusive. But I feel you need that adventure game on there. You need your female mascot. Lara's got to be on there. She's got to be on there. Freaking love it when you're just exploring, like a freaking wild wolves will come out, or a wild bear or something, or a tiger as well. It's freaking awesome. Such a good game. Now, I don't know whether this one is the best or the other one, which I don't yet own. Wipeout. I reckon, honestly, it's just in a league of its own. It's like a futuristic racer. It's just my favourite. Honestly, the soundtrack, even when I'm just chilling, cleaning my room, giving it a nice spring clean or whatever. Well, it don't really happen because I keep making pickups. But to even just have that soundtrack on, absolutely unreal. I also need, I need Wipeout 2097, I believe. And I need Wipeout, the one with the 3 in it. The one with the 3 in the title, because mine just says that. But yeah, I think in terms of racers, which ones have I already... I think I've only mentioned one other racer, and that's obviously Crash Team Racing. Obviously, which one... Was it Ridge Racer that has already been confirmed? I'm sure it's something like that. See, this is how kind of unhyped I am for this, to be honest, but I just wanted to obviously make this video and say my recommendations. If I was in charge, you'd have a sick PS1 Mini. But yeah, I definitely think that racer needs to be on there. You need to have that futuristic racer. Again, also on the Sega Saturn. Right, anyway, we're on to our honourable mentions. But before I say that, I think what would be amazing, but it's not going to happen, but you guys, I'm sure you've heard of Net Eurose. So it was like, you can buy a special PS1 Net Eurose console. It's the black one, like with a black controller as well. So it's basically software to develop your own games and things like that. So people obviously made their own games, and you see some of these games feature on some of the PS1 demos that came with the magazines. And I absolutely love some Net Eurose games. They're so good. I might even make a video on it, to be fair. I might stick a load of the PS1 demos and get some footage of me playing them or whatever. There's honestly so many hidden gems. I reckon it would be amazing to have a Net Eurose section on the PS1 Mini, like, of some of the best Eurose games, just as a little added bonus. But I know it's not going to happen because they're just not that thoughtful, but I really thought that would be a nice extra touch, but not going to happen anyway. But yeah. So, right. On to the honourable mentions. This was originally on my top 20 list, but if I'm realistic, it's not going to appear on it because this game, it was the first one to require the use of analog sticks, and obviously we're not getting the analog stick controllers unless they bring them out separately, which is an absolute con, which they shouldn't do. But no, I don't think this will go on it at all, because obviously they're not giving controllers with the analog sticks. Ape Escape. It was absolute sick game, it really was. Just basically going around catching monkeys, and you could obviously unlock other gadgets and all that, like the whole monkey finder and all that lot. Oh, it was so good. You know what I've just seen a very old Tesco sticker on there. What the hell? It says Tesco as well. That's old as hell. I forgot I even left that on there. It's going to need to be recased. Well, to be fair, that's a toughie. That's a toughie if I'm going off topic. Obviously got a big crack there. Nice massive crack, like Nicki Minaj's or whatever. But no, look. And then I've got a really nice sticker on there. Obviously, there you go. Look, you can't use it with normal controllers. So that's a proper shame, because that really should be on there, because this is another one-of-a-kind game. It really should. And, yeah, sometimes you think, really? Like, how can you just control a game with literally just the analog sticks? But it works. It works. I was obsessed with this as a kid. I was obsessed. And there's also other, like, mini-games, including, it says on here, monkey boxing and ski racing. It's been, honestly, so long since I properly played this game. There we go. The other gadgets you can unlock: slingshot, monkey net, sky flying propeller, radio control car, monkey radar, rowing boat. all created for maximum use of the analog controller. I remember that, actually. I remember using them to do your rowing boat, trying to get them in the right way, at the right rhythm and everything to get your boat going. But yeah, obviously you need to use all these gadgets as well in order to get like all the monkeys in the game. So it was amazing. It was amazing. Bit of a kind of puzzlerish, to be fair, as well. Because obviously you'd have to work out how to get certain monkeys, and it requires certain power-ups. So definitely should have been on there. It's a shame. It's a shame. This game I don't have for PS1, but I do have for the Sega Saturn. Pandemonium. Is it 2D/3D side scroller or something like that? Let's turn the brightness up slightly because it's I don't know, it's hella dark in here. It's getting a bit dark outside. But yeah, apologies that I look terrible. I've had a chill day today, but yeah, there we go. I've just realised he's wearing like a special kind of Converse as well. The Jester in the game. So yeah, I do have it for the Sega Saturn. I don't have it for the oh, them ripples! Look at them! Look at them! Oh. Painful. It happens though. These are old. These are old, man. 2D/3D, but really it is more of a 3D. So yeah, you can either play as Fargus, the Jester, or Nikki, the redhead. So yeah, it says, fantastic 3D world of magic and mysteries. They bounce, tumble and jump through 18 massive and diverse levels in search of the wishing machine. I literally don't know how to describe this game. It's like mega random, and like I say, these games are just like one of a kind. They really are. I just literally don't even know how to describe it to you guys. It's just an adventure / like side scroller. It's just amazing. I remember my nan and granddad got me this off a car boot years ago on PS1. I don't know where it went, but yeah, that's how I got into it. So yeah, that deserves to be on there. But like I say, it's just an honourable mention. I've got no room for all these, man. This is another honourable mention, but this is like a bit more to do with my own nostalgia, to be fair. Alien Trilogy. I just thought, like, for an Alien game, like, get this. Get this. It's like the ultimate. I think it literally always will be my favourite Alien game. I'll never forget, man. I generally used to, like, use all the cheats as well. If I couldn't be asked to play through the story, I used to bang them cheats on and get playing all the later levels. It was honestly a sick game, it really was. I was absolutely glued to it, and I first played this on the Sega Saturn. I own it for the Saturn as well now. But yeah, like I said, I was fascinated back in the day. Going back to the Crash Bandicoot games, this one, maybe this should be on the top 20, but I don't know how to fit it on. I don't know which game to budge off, to be honest. So like I say, I've tried to include some from every genre, but yeah, maybe this should really take the place of a survival horror game on here. Maybe one of the Reses, to be honest. So obviously this is basically your Mario Party, one of them on PS1 really. It's like your ultimate multiplayer this is, and it's Crash. It really was so good. Even like one player, to be fair, if you play through like the campaign kind of thing, whatever, one player, it was still fun. Generally was. You can just tell it's like absolute chaos on there. Freaking love that front cover. But yeah, maybe that should be on it really, as the ultimate multiplayer game. What else do we have? Okay, so Final Fantasy. I will hold my hand up and say I've never played a Final Fantasy game, and probably while I was going through my top 20, I bet some of you guys were probably waiting, like, where's Final Fantasy 7? Like, a lot of people obviously regard that as the best one. I wouldn't know because I haven't played them, in all honesty. I have not come across them to keep for the collection, but I suppose if they turn up in CX or I see them cheap enough, I will pick them up. I probably will get started on Final Fantasy 7, to be honest, if it's the best one. Hopefully it's the easiest for me to get into. I do believe on the I think it's on the NES Mini. I'm sure Final Fantasy 3 is on there, or 4, one of them. I'm sure it might be 3. So I should really get into that sometime. I know it would differ quite a bit from Final Fantasy 7, like, and whatever. Final Fantasy 8 and 9 and 10 I think were out for the PS1. But yeah, I should really get myself started on them. And it would be good to obviously play Final Fantasy 7 and see what that hype's about, because everyone said it's the best. So yeah, I just literally wanted to include an honourable mention to Final Fantasy to the series, because yeah, a lot of people would like to see them on. Another game series which I have not played, I've not played any of these games, but the Mega Man games. And obviously they're very expensive. They're really, really expensive to pick up, like in general. But I think the PS1 prices, they are pretty ridiculous. I'm sure they're about between £100 to £200 I've seen on the Facebook gaming group. So I've not managed to pick any up yet because they're freaking hefty price tags. So yeah, possibly Mega Man on this list. This is yeah, this is a bit of a difficult one, but either Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or 3 I think should be on it. I've chosen 2 because well, to be fair, Tony Hawk's 3, that was on the PS2. But then again, I believe this is out for the Dreamcast, I think. It's a difficult one, it really is. I wouldn't know how to pick between the two of them, to be honest with you. I probably would say maybe the third one's a bit more superior, I reckon. Maybe slightly better, but obviously you need a skateboarding game there, but how do I fit this in with freaking 20 games? Like, you need more than that. You need at least 25. I think it's very stingy. But yeah, definitely need a Tony Hawk on there. I haven't chosen the first one because I think the series really developed like from the second one and the third one. Like they're the better ones. What else do we have? I don't have this one. I don't own this on any of them, any consoles I don't think, but Marvel vs Capcom, I think that'd just be awesome to see, to be honest. But like I say, you've already got like pretty much your ultimate fighting game on there. It's not realistic and I don't think it would appear, but it also is on the Dreamcast, but I just think it is fun as hell. Like, I've got Marvel vs Capcom 2 on the PS2 and yeah, I absolutely loved it. I saw it featured on Gamesville, the old video game show on the Sky One. So I reckon it would be cool, but I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's going to appear. Anyway, this is funny. On the Cinemassacre channel, on their video, they mentioned this for a laugh. But to take up a space in 20 games, this is it'd be good to be included as a bonus, I think. And I think this is Japan only. It's called Pepsi Man. I just think it looks a really fun game, so I literally just wanted to throw this in there for you guys. Because obviously Cinemassacre reminded me of it as well, reminded me of its existence, and it would be awesome to play it. So yeah, there's Pepsi Man in there, like for the fun factor. This is another one. This would not appeal to everyone, I think, though, but I absolutely loved it from the demo, and I ended up buying it at some point. I think this goes for around anywhere between maybe £50 and £60. Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, it was just really fun. It was really, really unusual playing in this. I don't even know what to even call it. You're just playing this little freaking, this pod, this ship or something. That's basically shown on the front cover. Just blowing stuff up and whatever. And I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything I played of it on the demo, to be honest. So, yeah. I just think it's an honourable mention because I think it's like quite a hidden gem. So I just wanted to kind of include it. This one, I reckon it should really be on it. It would be awesome. But like you say, it's too difficult to choose. It really is. Really is difficult. But this was a really cool and unique game. Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver. This is like a weird version of it. I want the proper version where that takes up the whole of the case. So yeah. That's what you get for freaking not asking for extra pictures when you're buying off someone on a group or whatever. This was in my noob buying days, because like I saw that, you know, obviously like in a pile of games, whatever, I was like, oh, I'll have that one. Is it complete? That's all I'm bothered about. Yeah, it's complete. And then I didn't even realise there's a version like this available. And obviously I want it with that on the whole front cover. But yeah, I literally don't know how to, yeah, you're called Raziel or something like that. But yeah, you shift between worlds and stuff. It's hard to explain, to be honest, even this game. So I'll just literally read from the back. Like, cast down to the material world, the mysterious entity Raziel seeks vengeance for betrayal by his master Kain. He must slay his undead brethren. Only he can absorb their souls for the energy he craves. Moving between the spectral and material plane, Raziel must negotiate puzzles, overcome traps, and defy blood-chilling enemies to reach his goal, the final battle with Kain. So yeah, it is like a bit of an adventure slash puzzler. So yeah, it's a bit of like a more dark adventure game. And if you look at him, he's so freaking unique. How cool he looks. He's cool as hell. I used to love this game as a kid. So I just think it's an unusual game. It's a really cool one. What else do we have? We're getting near the end of it anyway, guys. So also another one, I think the Siphon filters. I don't own them anymore, but I used to have them back in the day. They were really good shooter games. They were really good. So I would say Siphon filter. That's a good shooter, but I can't see it quite making the top 20 list. This is a difficult one. Gex. I reckon he's quite an underrated mascot. Obviously overtaken by some of the others, but which game to include, I would not really know. So, yeah, I have both Gex 3D and Gex Deep Cover Gecko. But yeah, these are like really, really cool like adventure games and stuff. So I would say I do love the Gex games. Like I say, don't know which one they would include. And I don't even think they would include it, really. There is a Gex game out for... It's a completely different one to them ones, I'm sure, out for the N64. And there is one out for the Sega Saturn. So this is the thing, they have to take into account which ones are like PS1 exclusive only and which ones also appeared on other consoles. It's a difficult one. Last one, and this is one from my childhood, and like I said, I think it's a really unique one, like an assassin kind of game. Like ninjas kind of thing. Tenchu Stealth Assassins. It was mega violent as well, hence the 18 age certificate on there. Even though there's just the most, you know, pixelated blood splatters, it really did look violent, the deaths and stuff on this. Prowl and strike with lethal precision as ninja assassins Rikimaru and Ayami in the shadowy world of feudal Japan. And with mystical weapons and sheer cunning, you must shed blood with discretion and move without detection, for only the unseen survive. It was really cool, man. And like I say, the violence on it as well. Wield 20 stunning death-dealing devices, including the Crimson Blade, grappling hooks, caltrops, grenades, poison and magic spells. Long-range attacks as well. Stealth fighting tactics. Yeah, so that was really good. But I can't see that being included, to be fair. They mainly do, well, don't know, to be fair. I was thinking, would they mainly do kind of more kiddish friendly games? This seems probably a bit too violent to be included on it. But yeah, so what do you think, guys? Did I do good with my 20 list? I've obviously tried to take into account, kind of anyway, other people's preferences and whatever. Try to include like a whole like variety of genres and everything. And I think I covered them quite well. That is literally my ultimate list, and you could say it's a bit more biased towards survival horror, because maybe some ones such as obviously Tony Hawk's Pro Skater could creep in there to replace a survival horror game. You know, so just so that you've got a skateboarding game in there. It's, you know what I mean? Like I say, mine's a bit biased. But, like I say, I really think you need to include your Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You should include Cooler World and Tomb. You should include them to justify this price tag. You should let people play these games. You really should. You know what I mean? Don't just include cheapos on there. I'm already pretty disappointed by the 5 games they've revealed. I'll show them on screen right now. But the only one which I genuinely agree with is Tekken 3. To be fair, maybe a Ridge Racer or a Gran Turismo should be included as your generic racing game, but it's just, for me, I prefer like the more exciting ones like Crash Team Racing, and I think Wipeout is an amazing futuristic racer. So it's difficult. It'll be interesting to what they're going to do though, but they're my picks. But like I say, will I be getting the PS1 Mini? I don't think so. I really doubt it, because I think it's £90 wasted, which I'd rather buy an obscure Sega Saturn retro game with that, to be fair. I'd rather put that towards my retro collection, because I don't feel I need to own it, because I've literally, you know, I'm lucky enough to have all the classics that are classics in my eyes. Like, I don't feel like I need the mini console. Whereas with the NES and the SNES Mini, I think that's really good to have, like, because I literally had no, like, none of, like, the obscure and more expensive retro games on there, so I think that's a really good way to play them. But, yeah, definitely for the more casual gamer, I think the PS1 would be ideal for them, to be fair. I don't know if that many collectors will be going mad for them. It's just, I don't know, I'm just assuming that a lot of collectors will be like me, already owning these classic titles, so I think it would be a bit of a pointless purchase for me, but we'll see anyway. We'll see what they come up with in the top 20 list. So Guys, feel free to drop down in the comments section below your top 20 list. That would be really interesting to find out. And don't give me abuse for not ever playing a Final Fantasy game yet. I will get round to it, I promise. That'll probably be one of my New Year's resolutions to you guys. That's given me an idea. I might actually make a New Year's resolution video when it gets round to New Year and make a resolution of games which I must play during that next year. I reckon that's a good idea. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the videos, guys. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and you like my recommendations. Let me know what you reckon in the comments, and I'll see you very soon. See you in a bit, guys.